Here we go. Good morning. It's Monday morning, and you are live on the Daily Huddle. Wherever you're watching from, whether you're here with us in the live studio audience on Zoom. You know, it's funny saying live on Zoom, but here you are. Stacy, it's great to see you. Andrea, great to see you. CC, welcome. And today's conversation is going to dig into mindset in a way that we haven't done it before. And to set the stage for that, I want to tell you about this international teacher. The international teacher asked this question: what's your opinion on food scarcity in other countries? There were 4 students that chimed in. The African student said, what's food? The European student said, what's scarcity? The American student said, what are other countries? And the Chinese student says, what's my own opinion? Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. You heard the perspectives of these 4 students, right? I wanted to bring that in to start to deal with, well, what's mindset? And you'll see that mindset actually is critical when it comes to my relationship with money and your relationship with money. And without diving too deep into it, you could hear from the perspective of the American student. Did you hear the mindset? From the perspective of the Chinese student, you could hear the mindset that was driving what he or she could hear or see in the questions that they asked. In the same way, my mindset with respect to money drives everything I can do with it, everything I can say about it, the way I relate to it. So this morning, we're going to look at 2 things. Am I relating to money as a resource, or am I relating to money as a tool? That's all we're going to do. But before we do that, I've got a couple of questions. Andrea, good morning. Andrea, where are you?
Saurel, I am right where I need to be, which is right here.
Right here. Thank you for being here. And who are you going to hug today, Andrea?
I think it's going to be myself. I'm going to hug a very virtual, strong, bone-crushing hug to myself.
Why not? Why not? Stacy, it's great to see you, brother. It's great to see you. Tell me, what time is it and what are you grateful for?
Good morning, my Daily Huddle family. How am I feeling? Is that what you asked me? You asked me
what time is it?
What time it is? Oh, what time is it? Well, the time, listen, the time is right here, right now. It is right now, right? The only time that we have full mastery of. And what am I grateful for? I am grateful for the courage to take the day off. I took the day off today, and that is not something I usually do, and I'm not going to feel guilty about it.
Oh my God. You know, that leads us into the other question I have to ask you. How are you?
How am I? That's what I'm used to asking you. How am I? I am how I say I am, right? And I am feeling great and non-guilty and very happy to be spending time with my Daily Huddle family today.
Well, that is awesome, Stacy. Welcome here. Welcome to each and every one of you. Let's sink our teeth into this conversation. What is money to you? Is it a resource or a tool? Now, let's take a look at that. What is money to you? Is it a resource or a tool? Money to you and to me could be whatever you say it is. But let's take a look. To look at the mindset this way, we must first make a distinction between a resource and a tool. Now, picture a carpenter. The carpenter has nails. The carpenter is building the frame of a house, and the carpenter also has a hammer. Now, in the context of this carpenter, would you say the nail is a resource or a tool? Andrea, what do you think?
I think it's both, but I'm gonna save that for a larger discussion. But I think it's
There
both.
you go.
I think it's both.
It could be both, in the same way that money could be both a resource and a tool. But for the sake of this conversation, let's play and say that the nail is a resource, something to be used to achieve something like putting the frame together, right? And if we look at the nail as a resource, and by the way, the nail can be both, because you could use the nail as a pick if it's long enough and break ice with it. So it could be both. But at any one point in time, how I use the nail is being given to me by my relationship to the nail as a resource or a tool. So now let's say the nail is a resource. What are some things that I would say about nails when I'm relating to nails as a resource? What do you think? I could say things like, I don't have enough nails. I need to go get more nails.
Or if you have enough nails, you have a constant source of income.
Well, let's not talk about income yet, because
Okay.
here's the deal, right? Stacey, stay right there. You're doing really great. Stay right there. When I'm relating to something as a resource, this is the opportunity for us to discover, what do I say about a resource? What do I say when my relationship to it is that it's a resource, something to be used? I will say things like, well, maybe I don't have enough. Maybe I need to get more. Take a look, Stacey. Tell me, what do you say when you're using something, your relationship to something is it's a resource to be used? Stacey, are you there?
Oh, I am here. I am here. Yeah. I'm sorry. I thought that was rhetorical. Yes.
No,
I will
no,
answer
no,
that.
this is not rhetorical. I really want you guys to get this. Now, everybody, it doesn't matter where you're watching, do this exercise. When my relationship to something is that it's a resource, what do I say about that thing?
I have to be honest. I think I always think about it either in abundance or lack. Not even abundance, because I never say, "Oh, I have enough money," right? I have enough money, right? That is interesting, but I've said oftentimes I don't have enough, right? So I can imagine. So
Yeah.
about nails, you never really, you could always have more nails because you need nails.
No,
As a
stay
person who
right there.
uses
Stay
art.
right there, right?
Okay, I think
When I'm relating to nails as a resource, it's not like that's bad. When I'm relating to money as a resource, it's not that that's bad. It's that the relationship it gives me limits me from doing something else. So now let's take a look. I'm relating to nails as a resource. I'll say things like, well, go get me some nails. I don't have enough nails. Hang on one second, guys. Whining dogs happen when you're live. Go get me some nails. I don't have enough nails. What do you mean you used all the nails? Oh, what do you mean we needed 10,000 and not 5,000? So there is that thing about my relationship to nails as a resource that actually limits me. Now, we're not going to talk about what the limit is, and it's not that the limit is bad, but the limit is inherent in the relationship. Do you get that?
Yes.
So now let's take a look at the hammer. The hammer now is a tool, isn't it?
Tool. Yes.
What are you going to use the hammer to do in the context of being a carpenter?
Drive nails into wood or other materials and build upon it.
Now, would you ever hear a carpenter say, I don't have enough hammer?
Not if he's working by himself.
You got that, right? So when I'm relating to something as a tool, it is there to be used for something. So the conversation I want to create in the context of money is that when I'm relating to money as a resource, I often can't see how I can use it as a tool. As a matter of fact, it's not there to be used as a tool. It's there to simply be used as a resource, something that can be exhausted, something that I have to go get, something that I relate to in the world of I have it or I don't. So in the context of my relationship with money, when I'm relating to it as a resource, there are some limitations. And one of the major limitations is when I'm relating to money as a resource, it keeps me from seeing how I can use it as a tool. Now, I bring all that into play to say, neither is bad. And the people who build wealth and continue to expend their wealth, Andre, I'm coming back to you. Yes, money can be both a resource and a tool. And often, when I'm anchored solely in my relationship to money as a resource, I fail to see where I can use it as a tool or how I can use it as a tool. The invitation this morning is to discover your relationship to money, maybe exclusively as a resource. And in a world where my relationship with money is exclusively as a resource, maybe I'm limited to being someone who works to get more money so I can have more of the resource I need to get the things I need to get in life. And there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people are really good at getting that resource. But guess what? When you're building a frame, Stacy, and you're a carpenter, by the time you're done, the supply of nails you had, what happened to it?
You could have exhausted them.
Yes, you use it all. That's the nature of the relationship to a resource. It's to be used. So at some point in time, you will exhaust it all. And boom, what do you now have to do once you've exhausted the current resource? You have to go get more if you want to build a new frame. So in that case, if we liken a nail as a resource to money, while the nail is useful as that resource to stick two pieces of wood together, the nail never creates another nail. And in the context of growing wealth, when money is used as a tool, it can multiply itself. And the mindset of someone who's building wealth is someone who's capable of seeing when and how I use money as a resource and how it limits me from seeing how I can use it as a tool, to shifting whenever it's appropriate to say, I'm now going to use money as a tool. Now imagine in the world where money is a resource that can be exhausted, that is scarce, would I ever start using money as a tool, i.e. investing, if it's a resource and I say I don't have enough of it? What are your thoughts, Stacy?
This is a brilliant perspective. This is a brilliant perspective.
Now,
I'm going to carry this.
You know, what it points to is this. One might say, I can only shift my mindset to money and my relationship to money as a tool when I have enough of it. When you're going back to the hammer, right? Is there such a thing as enough hammer or not enough hammer?
The hammer is all you need.
Exactly. There is a hammer. Now imagine shifting our relationship to money to that. There is money as a tool for me to use to build wealth and to take care of my business, meaning I use money as a resource, but it's a deliberate use of money as a resource, as opposed to a default relationship I have with money as a resource. So now money is a tool. Now, the people who are wealthy and stay and grow their wealth use money as that tool. And when you're using money as a tool, it doesn't matter how much of it you have. Now imagine this. An 18-year-old who saves $10 a day by the age of 63 will be a millionaire. Discipline, time, and compound interest makes a difference. But if my relationship to money is that it's a resource, guess what I have to say about what I just said? An 18-year-old saves $10 a day and becomes a millionaire by the age of 63. Well, not becomes a millionaire, accumulates $1 million by the age of 63. If I'm relating to money as a resource and not a tool, what do I have to say about that? Or what can I say about that? Andrea, chime in.
I can say that they use the money as a means to, as a resource to grow. It's kind of the energy cycle. So that young person, it's building that with not only the tools, but the resources to be that person they want to be.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, shifting, it's a minor shift.
Yeah.
It's a minor shift, but that minor shift puts us in a position where at any age, you are that 18-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard people say, well, gosh, you know, I'm behind the 8 ball. It's way too late for me. I can't start building wealth.
Mm-hmm.
You've heard that.
Yep.
That comes from the world of my relationship to money is as a resource. But guess what? I can be 18 years old. I can be 16. I can be 65. And when I've got a hammer and a nail, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to use that hammer and drive that nail in.
And it's the same thinking about that hammer being a tool that can build and destroy at the same time. So it's like thinking that two things have a money could be to build and also to be that tool specifically.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. That's the conversation. I'm not going to expand it more, because if I expand it more, we'll get into the realm of trying to understand our own relationship to money, as opposed to discovering it in life for real. So I want to do this little exercise with each of you. Take a look at your own life. And wherever you are, whether you're watching on Facebook or you're watching in the comfort of your own home in another country like Haiti, just take a look and ask yourself, where am I having a relationship with money as a resource? What do I say? What do I think? Just look for a moment and then chime in and share out loud, if you hear on Zoom with me, what you see from the perspective of looking at money as a resource. And again, we're not looking to change that relationship. We're looking to make it alive for you, so that when you are using money as a resource and it's limiting you, you can catch it and shift as needed to using money as a tool. So talk to me.
I definitely have to say that I am challenged. I will admit this. I will put myself out there. I will admit that I have thought of money. Yes, I understand that money is a tool. I've known that. But I still treat it like a resource.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to let it go. Like, I don't want to let it go. I'm like, I have it. It's in the bank. It's there. You know, I want to treat it like that. But of course, I understand that scared money don't make money, and then we are building something, right? So that is how you can use it as a tool. There's risk.
Thank you for going there, Stacy, because in this conversation, my direct invitation to everyone is to don't get very intellectual about this and get to understand it and go, yeah, I really understand that money's a tool and not a resource, or vice versa. No, it's to actually see it in your own life and get the impact. Mm-hmm. So that you have been relating to money, and it's not bad, but primarily you said, I relate to money as a resource. What do you see has been the impact?
Ooh, you are challenging me on this day that I took off. Maybe I should have went to work.
Thank you for doing that work, because this is the work that everyone gets to do, including me, on a daily basis, to create and sustain a powerful relationship with money.
Right.
So what do you see as the impact?
Yeah, you know what? Here's the thing. I'll be very honest. The impact has been minimal. And I look at the last few years. I'm like, I could have done so much more. I still have opportunity to do more, which is wonderful. But I've been so happy to have it as the resource that I did not really want to venture out and use it as a tool because of the risk.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
I got it.
I have to be honest.
So the impact has been, again, one relationship isn't bad and the other one good. Mm-hmm. They kind of come up and arise together.
Right.
And when I'm exclusively in the world of money is a resource to be used that can be exhausted and I must hoard it, I don't get to use it as a tool. And that's the impact. Mm-hmm. That's the major impact. And the other impact is I don't experience myself as someone who is wealthy. And the wealthy I'm talking about has nothing to do with the amount of money I have. It is that space inside of which I live that's given to me by my primary relationship with money.
I've been trying to keep my resource in mint condition. I'm trying to keep my hammer in mint condition, and a hammer should be beat up, right?
A hammer should be driving nails, right?
It should be used. I'm trying to keep my money in mint condition, and that is. I thank you so much for this. I get it.
A hammer should be driving nails. Now, mark this day, right? Andrea and I started something at the beginning of this series. Then Monica built on it, right? And this is your preparation to begin to think of money as that hammer. And in the months to come, we're going to be showing you and having conversations with you that have you take an action, just like driving nails in with money. Right? Ronald, you had your hand up, brother.
Yeah, this is really interesting. I mean, the thing that I get in this conversation is the resource and the tool comes to you as a state of mind. And sometimes when it's being used as a resource, you are in a different state of mind in each occasion. And I've seen where in both situations, you really need to be aware of exactly your numbers. What's your numbers? What do you have? What do you truly have? And
Hey, Ronald.
And not what you think you have. Because I think
I want to interrupt. Okay. And here's why. You're going down a dangerous tunnel. And that dangerous tunnel is the tunnel of understanding, as opposed to really being with the assertion I'm making. The assertion I'm making is that unless you're Warren Buffett, and I'm not Warren Buffett, so I'm including myself, okay?
Okay.
Unless you are Warren Buffett, your primary relationship to money has been as a resource. Take a look and see what the impact has been. I'm not asking you to understand it. Okay. I'm asking you to take a real look, and that look will free you up to begin to relate to money as a hammer.
Okay.
And then the question, what does Warren Buffett or someone who is as wealthy as that do with that hammer? You begin to be interested in that.
Okay. As a tool, yeah, you become interested as being an investor, most definitely. As a tool, you become but what I was going there is, as a resource, it changes, and I've seen people change, personality change as a resource when it is a resource. I mean, like if there is extension of your ego, extension.
Now talk about you, Ronald. Talk about you.
Yeah, I'm talking about me. I mean, it's like.
But you're saying people.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, like as a resource, I was thinking myself, like, buying myself the best whiskey I can drink. I'm buying myself the best whiskey I can drink.
And that's perfect.
And I feel good about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, folks, just two words, right? Resource versus tool. We could go on forever exploring and peeling the onion to discover the impact of your relationship with money when, as Stacy pointed out, unbeknownst to you, you relate to it almost exclusively as a resource. And even when you use it, quote unquote, as a tool to invest, it's not so much using it from that mindset. You may still be in the mindset of money as a resource, and you're looking for a way to get more of it. The carpenter's never looking to get more hammers. She's always driving nails in. That's our conversation for today, folks. We're going to end on the same note we end every week, every day. Get ready for Roland and Vince Roundtree tomorrow on health and wellness. We're here on the Daily Huddle every day from 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. And we look forward to having these conversations with you. Thank you for creating the space for that conversation to happen. So go forth and love. Stress less. Laugh out loud like no one's watching. You know, the kind of laugh where you snort a little bit while you're laughing? Like that. Eat mostly plant-based. Give of your resources. Sleep soundly and move your body. And I'll add this just for you, Dr. Monica, if you're watching from Egypt, check yourself before you wreck yourself. That's our Daily Huddle for today, folks. I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.